everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a homemade cheesecake for you. It's a really easy recipe to do, but it takes quite a while, so plan an hour or two to make it, and then make sure you leave it overnight in the refrigerator. So the first thing you're going to want to do is heat your oven to 400 degrees. And the ingredients are, you're going to need 2 pounds of cream cheese, 3/4 of a cup of white sugar, 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, a cup of sour cream for the inside, the actual cheesecake part, and then for the crust, you're going to need 12 tablespoons of melted butter, and 3 cups of graham crackers smashed up. I just take my little mallet, put them in a bag, take my little mallet, hit them for a while and smash them up. You're also going to need a cheesecake pan. If you don't have a cheesecake pan, a pie pan will work, but it's not going to turn out as nice, I don't think anyways. And I like to get the ones that come apart. It makes it easier to pull the cheesecake out when it's done. And also when you're baking it in the oven, I suggest putting a pan under it because sometimes the butter does leak out of the cracks of these cheesecake pans, and yeah, that's not fun for your oven. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the crust. I already melted my butter, and then I added a 1/2 cup of white sugar to it. And then I'm going to add 3 cups of my graham crackers. You can see I've mixed the graham crackers with the butter and sugar until they are completely moist. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this into my pan here, and then I'm going to push it down around the edges. Alright, so there's my crust in my cheesecake pan. What I like to do is I like to use a cup with kind of a rounded bottom to push it down and push it around the edges. It doesn't have to be perfect or pretty because in the end when it bakes, you're not going to be able to tell if it's even or not. So just do your best to lay it out and push and mold it into your crust. Okay, so now for the filling. And one thing I forgot to mention you're going to want to do is make sure that the cream cheese is at room temperature. But if you do not have time to let it sit out and get to room temperature, it is okay to microwave it for a minute until it gets nice and warm. It makes it a lot easier to mix this. I'm going to mix my 2 pounds of cream cheese until it's nice and whipped and creamy. So after you have your cream cheese nice and creamy, you're going to first add sugar. And then you're going to mix it again. And this is going to become a cycle of adding ingredients and mixing them. And you just want to make sure it's nice and combined and creamy and smooth. That way your cheesecake is even. So we added the sugar. It's hard to do one-handed, sorry. The next thing I'm going to add is going to be the eggs, my 2 eggs. And again, we're going to mix. Next, we are going to add our vanilla and the cornstarch. And then we are going to mix it well again. So the last ingredient that I have added is the sour cream, and we're going to go ahead and mix that in. After it's well mixed, we're going to add it into our cheesecake pan. So I'm going to slowly add it to my cheesecake pan. And I'm going to spread it out as evenly as I can around the pan. Looks pretty good. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. Alright, now that my cheesecake has been cooking for 20 minutes on 400 degrees, I'm going to turn it down to 200 degrees and cook it for another 40 minutes. Now that my cheesecake has been baking at 200 degrees for about 40 minutes, I'm going to just there it is. I'm just going to prop the door open and leave it in there with the door open and the oven off until the cheesecake is completely at room temperature. After that, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator overnight, and then I'm going to open up this little pan right here and cut it up and serve it. So that's how I make my homemade cheesecake. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will put the ingredients and instructions down below for you. That way you can double check everything in case I missed something. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.